There we go.
There he is. It's the most interesting man in San Antonio.
Oh, no,
How you doing, Lonnie?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Hey, thanks for joining us.
Oh, no, I appreciate you inviting me in.
Are you so are you at home?
Yeah, I'm at.
You're at your house?
I'm in San Antonio at the moment. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm with my dogs. Just been hanging out with them, spending time with them, training them. Like
Have you
having
broken
kids.
your internet yet?
No, not yet. I think it's getting to that point. Every time my mom calls me, she asks me what I'm doing, and most of the time I'm playing online games on my PlayStation, something like that.
Yeah. How many hours a day?
Whew. When I was young, I used to do a solid 7-8 hours, but
Wow.
I barely play the game anymore. Sometimes it's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, Lonnie, we're so glad you could join us. I have to confess, this is my first time doing an Instagram chat.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, but really appreciate you joining and giving us a little bit of insight into your world right now. We're obviously all disappointed that life has had to put on pause for a while, but especially right in the middle of the season and everything. But
Yeah.
you were having a good season, and we're obviously very proud of you. And thanks for speaking out about what we're doing right now. Obviously, Lonnie's at home. I'm in the office, but we're all socially distancing. And one of the things that I think everybody wants to know, Lonnie, for you, is that you're at the elite level of professional sports, and when you're told to stay home, what does that do for your workout regimen? How you keep it in shape and staying ready to go?
That's by far one of the hardest things for me as a rookie. When you're a vet, you kind of already have weights and everything at your house, probably that you built and everything. So for me, I'm pretty much doing it in my living room. I have some bench routines such as squats that I've been doing, a couple dumbbell lifts and rows, and just trying to stay consistent. But not even from the lifting standpoint, you have to make sure you're staying consistent when it comes to eating, cooking right, sleeping the correct way. There's multiple aspects of just lifting that you have to, stay consistent with, which is a big priority during this off season. I don't really know what to call it at this point.
So you do a lot of like body weight exercise and stuff too?
Absolutely. Even if you don't have such acquired things like a dumbbell or even like bands to work on yourself, your body's your own weight. So you can still do sit-ups, you can still do push-ups. If you find a way, you can still kind of do pull-ups, I guess.
Yeah.
Depending on if you have it or whatnot, core crunch. The list goes on and on. How have you been staying fit?
Well, I've collected a few things over the years. I still, one thing that even when my son was born and my wife and I moved and I no longer had a gym in the garage, one thing that she allowed me to keep, even though I had to take it apart, was the squat rack.
Okay.
So I have a bare bones weights and stuff that's in one half of the garage, and so I'm going in there late night when everybody's asleep and try to. It's mostly mental health for me right now. I used to compete in powerlifting and some other strength sports, but for me, it's only mental health. Really, just trying to keep sane, but try to do it 3 or 4 days a week.
And how are you coping with the mental aspect of life?
I have to have about 10 minutes on the back porch every night, just with everything dark and everybody asleep, and just listen to music and just think a little bit. We're going all day, every day, and things are pretty heavy right now, but things we'll get through all this. But I need a little bit of quiet time in addition to a little bit of gym time.
Absolutely. I think this is a great time period for just humans in general to figure themselves out along this time period. It's everyone's singled out and everyone's by themselves. This is a great time to see what you like or don't like, or what you make or seek to improve. been reading books, you know, such as The Heritage, you know, Art of War, Child Called It, I think, pretty much every night at this point, trying to read a book and slow down. And,
so I read that article in the paper a couple of months ago about how your dad would make you read every day when you were a kid. I have an 11-year-old son. We try to do that.
Yeah.
But I was you know, you don't always get to see that kind of that other side of people when they're professional athletes. But you're a bibliophile. So what have you been reading lately?
I just reread Art of War. I actually have it right here. You know, but I'm starting to fall into a lot more you know, patriotism. My apologies. You know, Tim Duncan has sent me a whole bunch of political things and things of that nature back in history. So my dad, it's funny because growing up, I used to always, after school, all my friends would go to the park and, Lonnie, come to the park, come on. And I'm like, I want to come to the park so bad. And my dad would make me read and write for hours, and I used to hate it. I used to be like, there's no reason I should be doing this. I'm 10 years old, you know. And it's funny now because I look back at it now and I'm like, wow, you know, my father.
That's awesome. And I'm interested because you just held up Sun Tzu, Art of War. Yes. And so I think that explains a little bit about your playing style.
Oh yeah, absolutely, by far. It's just, you know, I feel like Art of War, basketball, I mean, attack mindset. I don't know what aspect of the game that you have or your perspective of the book. I kind of replicate myself on how to do it, on how I'm playing against other people, and how I'm adjusting for sure.
You take advantage of the defender when he's least ready.
Absolutely. And I think that's one thing I could say that Coach Pop has taught me is, you know, law on your defenders, they catch them when they're not really looking, you know, such as doing a whole bunch of backdoor cuts, you know. If I'm chilling in the corner, run to the opposite corner or go set a screen or, you know, just keep on moving. And he's been giving me another aerodynamic in my game that I'm excited.
I know you weren't there for the 2014 Spurs championship, but that to me was the picture of a champion taking advantage of an overconfident opponent.
Yeah. It's funny when I first got here, my first time eating with Coach Pop, we talked about that, the finals. He was like, you ever been to the Riverwalk? And I was like, no. And he was like, well, don't go. You're not going to the Riverwalk until you win a championship. So I was like, okay.
Well, I have a feeling there's one in silver and black in your tenure, Lonnie. We're looking forward to that. Hey, so obviously we're staying home. People feel isolated. But ironically, also people feel connected because, you know, we're confronted with our loneliness, but it allows us to reach out to people. And sometimes we're on the phone with people we haven't talked to in a long time. So we're connected in ways I think that's pretty striking. How are you staying in touch with your teammates?
In numerous ways. You know, being with the Spurs organization, we still have, I believe it's called Zoom that everyone's been using. And we all pretty much have, Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have kind of like a workout together. And, you know, we all talk afterwards, and we're trying to stay in touch as well. Not only that, but we also got FaceTime. I just got done talking to Derek White. Me and him are close. He's always clowning on me, but that's the way of the game. Me, D.Y., DeJounte. I mean, the list goes on and on. This is the greatest part is you got FaceTime, you have Instagram Live, you have Zoom, which is giving us making it much easier to connect.
That's good, and I've called my mom more lately than I have in a while, so she's happy about that. Mm-hmm. But you know, it's tough because loneliness is not good for people, and so we want people to reach out. So, do you have a message for people? You know, if they are, you know, how do we maintain a focus on mental health when we're trying to get through these stay-home orders?
Oh man, there's an abundant amount of different ways, but for me, I remember growing up, I had my moments that were incomprehensible. You know, I couldn't deal with it. I didn't know who to resort to. but just know you always have a helping hand. If there's someone to talk to them. I have hundreds and hundreds of messages, and I mean, I try to respond to as many as I can to talk to them. Because mental health is a priority. If your mental is not straight, how do you expect the best person you can be? But there's different aspects. I mean, do you have any tips that you would like to share?
Yeah, I mean, it's really important that we try to make sure people, especially, if they live alone, to know, we just want people to know that they're not alone, that if they, if they're in a situation where they just feel like they can't cope, there's just call us, reach out to somebody. There's resources to help. There's friends on the other line. There's people just to talk to.
Can you put out, do you have the phone number exactly?
Yeah. I'm going to post it up on the Instagram right after we get off, but there's a mental health, there's a helpline from the state, toll-free helpline that people can use if they need it. And we can actually, I'll say it right now and we'll post it up later. They can call 210-233-7233. That's the crisis helpline. And we also want people to know that, sometimes home is not safe for people who are in a domestic, an abusive relationship. And so even if you're stuck at home, if your home is not a safe place, we want you to call us also, because there are places you can go, places to be safe. We want to make sure people know that because, this is a very stressful time for people. But yeah, you're not alone. That's the main message for people.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
I'm curious. You're listed as 6'5" on the roster.
Yeah.
With or without the hair?
I hope to think without. It's funny because this year was the first year where they wanted everyone to get their exact height. And they're like, trying to dissect my hair and like move it all types of ways. And I'm like, this is the best you're gonna get. So, hopefully next year I might mess around and get 6'6" or 6'7" if my hair continues to grow.
Yeah, well, whatever you're doing, it's working, Lonnie. We're so proud of you and looking forward to great years with the Spurs, great years in your career. You've got a lot of fans. I'm a big fan of yours just because you're the total package as an athlete, but also as a human being. And we're very proud of you here in San Antonio.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it, man.
Well, stay strong. We're in this together. I tell people the sun also rises, and I can't wait to see you back on the court, Lonnie.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me and, being able to talk about mental health and other aspects that are involved in this pandemic. This is a really important time for just human beings individually, and I'm happy that, me and you got to talk about it and help out as many people as we can.
Thanks so much, Lonnie. And everybody watching, y'all be safe, take care, stay home, save lives, and we'll get through this together. Thanks, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Have a good day.
Yeah.